We'll see. Yo, can we do that? There we go. We do that. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna see if this looks crazy or not. That's a little something. That's all my contact information. What's up, people? How you doing? How's it going? Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. My name is Tim Black. I got my people in the house. Give it up for my people on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Give it up for them. Hey. A lot is going on. I said a lot is going on. Why do I feel caged? A brother feels caged with this. I don't know. It's got a little flavor to it. I don't know. Still feels like a barrier. We'll work on it. Oh, maybe that's better. I don't know. So, look, guys, welcome to it. Look, this is a U.S. political show. We cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and, of course, Black culture. To my people that have tuned into the show, good to have you back. Welcome. To the new people, you're in for something. I got to tell you, you are in for something tonight because the hits just keep on coming. I see we got people in the chat room. Let me give it up for my moderators, Buck Bewley and the one and only Black Mamba. They are in the house. Yes, they are in the house. DeAndre, Malcolm Rex, Ebony, Cat Negrita, Tobias, Grove, Wagi. Here and accounted for, DM Walker, Megs. What up? Chris, LJ. The whole crew. James Sumler. Good to see you, my friend. Glad to catch you. Cantron. Valerie. Oh, I got the whole crew in here tonight. Yeah, man. We are feeling good. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Nimrod. Elizabeth Looney. Hardcore. Okay. Yo, man. Give it up for my people one more time, y'all. And also, I have a few of my people, man. These are my VIPs. VIPs. People that give to the show behind the scenes, doing their thing to keep it going. I like acknowledging those folks. Those are the quiet supporters that we all really need. The quiet supporters that we really need, Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. So as we get further and further down the line here, guys, we gotta all be committed to telling the truth, man, and standing on it and trying to mobilize around it and trying to move our lives through our rhetoric. Like we gotta walk the talk. Man, what's going on, people? What's going on? I got crazy things happening, man, here. It's getting crazy, folks. I'm going to tell you, every time I come around, man, there's something new going on. So, look, we got news to cover tonight. Some stuff that you may not have had time to really dig into. I realize I am very much an outlier. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do every day. Every day, I'm up looking at the news, reading news articles, you know, checking out the internet's latest news on the cable news shows, the political animals, the news sites. Like, I'm doing all this stuff, and it's like, the average person ain't doing that. They may watch a news program. They may read something, they scroll something, they see something, you know? And it gets weird because I'm starting to get into that type of news that once you leave totally behind the Democratic Party and you are totally aware of all their tricks and how the corporate media is enmeshed in that. And how the corporate media will also be tied up with the Republicans if it suits their needs, if it works for them. As long as it's a win-win for both sides. So once you realize that, right, you get into you start knowing things that most people won't know because it's not going to be broadcast on the channels they watch. It's not going to be appearing in the podcasts that they frequent. The influencers and the other people that they listen to online are not going to be talking about it because, by definition, it is the type of content that is not advised by the state. It's not controlled by the corporations and by the Democratic Party. Therefore, it's the last thing they want them people to ever hear. They want their best. They want their best and brightest. They're paid and hired to go out and spread their message, to be evangelists knocking on their door. They're knocking on your door like the Jehovah's Witnesses. Right? They're knocking on your door like the Jehovah's Witnesses on a Sunday morning, but you ain't hiding from the door. You ain't ducking. It's corporate media, and you answer every time like, hello. Just go ahead and dump some more of that propaganda in my ear. Give me more propaganda. That'd be great. I love more propaganda. Oh, you're delivering it with a black face? Perfect. A black person said it, so it must be true. They must have my best interest at heart, right? They have to be in my best interest. They black too. So it makes my job increasingly more difficult. In fact, sometimes, man, I try to stay optimistic, but I realize that it's a daunting task. Yeah, it's a daunting task to try to disrupt that frequency that's going to. You know what I'm talking about? You ever listen to a friend, maybe a relative, family member, whatever, and they're just saying some things that they heard off the TV, and you're like, I don't even know if I want to have this conversation. Because they're not going to agree with me at all. They're not going to want to hear the truth. It's going to shatter everything they believe. They're going to think I'm crazy. You ever been there? You done took the time. You done figured it out. You done took the time, researched it. And even having this conversation is going to be bad. Because they don't know. And it's not because they bad people. It's just they fell for the okie doke. It's not even they fell for the okie doke. It's, man, you just have to be proactively going out to find the counter arguments. You have to proactively be pursuing truth, because what's easy to get is not the truth. It's just not. It definitely don't come wrapped up in a Hollywood bow. You would think at some point it'd be like, people would be like, look, I know this some BS, because a bunch of actors and actresses and rappers and whatever are championing it. You would think they would know by now. Like, that would be the telltale. Because some people ain't going to risk their money to tell you no truth. You would think that would be enough to tip them off like, hey. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean no harm, man. But if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and a couple shady figures see you going to the ATM machine, and they tell you that ATM machine broke, let me punch that number in for you. I know how to hit the numbers for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should run. But now we be right there. Well, here's my number. 26, 7, 19, 11. Just giving the numbers up. I don't know, man. This is all going to make sense later as we get further into the night show. Look, this is the Tim Black Show. We do this all the time. Well, not all the time. Every day except Tuesday and Saturday. Okay, every day except Tuesday and Saturday. Let's get cracking, Johnson. Yo, we got this. We got it. We got it. Oh man, maybe the weather's starting to break. I'm starting to this hat, man. I don't know. This hat's a little toasty. This hat's a little toasty, man. I hate to do it, but brother got to be comfortable. Jesus Christ! It's a 1.5, but it ain't winter in here. All right, let's do this. Look, guys. So let's jump into tonight's show. I saw this clip. It was on Twitter, and I had to give it a run. Oh, before we do that, today's sponsor of the show is a Tim Black mug. Get yourself a Tim Black mug. This is the bomb mug. You can put it in your dishwasher. You can put it in your mouth. You can put it in your microwave. You can put it in the refrigerator. You just put it. Okay. It's the legacy mug for the Tim Black Show. Politics for the people. Go to timblackmug.com to get your own mug delivered to your house, your residence, and be down with what's down. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of it. Yeah. And I want to thank the people that have already ordered it. I've had a number of Tim Black Wolfpack members who have already picked up their mug. I want to thank y'all for supporting the show. And I hope you enjoyed not only your mug, but all the other stuff I gave you along with your order, because I appreciate the hell out of you. So thank you for being a part of this. Let's get it started, man. Okay, I saw this on Twitter, and I didn't even realize it. This brother, I just so happened, he was following me, and I followed him back like 2 days ago. And then the next day, he put out this video. And this video has gone super viral. It was super viral, and it's making a lot of noise, and I want to play it for you. Here goes my brother. I think his name is, I want to say Isaac. I could be wrong about the name, but I'm going to go ahead and play his video, and I'll see if I can grab his name. Here he is.
This fucking political party, the Democratic Party, have lied to us about everything. They've lied about being the party of the middle class. They've lied about being the party of peace. They've lied about being the party that wants to help poor people. Okay? What the last several weeks have proven to us all is that this is a cadre of criminals and losers and spoiled children of affluent parents who were more concerned about looking good than actually doing good. These are people who were more concerned about looking like they were doing something for the American people than actually doing things for the American people. And that's why I'm so angry. Because this party lied to me while stealing my tax dollars. The Democratic Party lied to us all while they brought in millions of illegal immigrants for their own political purposes for the last 4 years. 20 to 30 million illegal aliens brought in, and now we come to USAID being probably the largest money laundering operation in American history. Congratulations, Dems. You've outdone even Bernie Madoff. I'm disgusted beyond words. Disgusted with the waste of money. Disgusted with the waste, with the fraud. With the way that you people use color legitimacy and the way you use black people as fucking mules to get us to push whatever fucking agenda you wanted to.
Man, when I hear this anger this brother has right now, it's righteous anger, though. This is not a brother just spouting off stuff, going in every direction with no discernment. This is a brother very focused in telling you what it is and letting those people have it. And I'm telling you, this is where you get to. This is a natural progression. I don't know how many times I had people say, Tim Black, what happened to you? I woke up. I woke up. You ain't woke. You say woke. You don't know what's going on. You're lost. If you ain't as angry as this brother is about what the Democratic Party is doing to black people, have been doing to black people, what's it been doing to all of us, but you don't see what it's doing to black people in particular, I tell you, I'm telling you that because we give the Democratic Party our vote 95% of the time. Stop telling me, what about Republicans? You don't vote for. Stop telling me that shit. I'm talking the people you vote for. The people you give money to. Last time you gave money to the Republican Party. Just shut up and stop bringing that up. Stop defending this shit. If you don't feel like this brother right here, I don't know. This is a natural progression. If another lily white progressive, lame-ass lily white progressive says, what happened, Tim? I'm going to virtually drop kick you in your ass. Please, Isaiah L. Carter, continue. Now, I know where you get it from, the delivery, some of this stuff, it feels so familiar. Brother from Baltimore. Like he from Maryland, but Baltimore's his own thing. Don't get it twisted. But me, I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland, a lot closer to D.C., so his is a little bit more of a New York influence, but I feel him. Baltimore is its own animal, but it has some influences. So, yo, man, this is one of the reasons why I rock with it. Let's keep going. Mr. Carter.
The amount of division you used black people to sow upon the American people, you used us for that. And I will never, ever forgive this political party. The shit that I've gone through personally. Y'all were supposed to be the party of free speech, the party of women's rights. You have immolated all of those things. And then, as if enough weren't enough, you then decide that you're going to die on the hill of USAID, a government audit. You're trying to prevent a government audit because some of you really are trying to stay out of prison. We see the game now. Y'all been out here telling us that the game was rigged against certain people. Well, now we found out who the people that were rigging the game were. Congratulations. Y'all are never going to win another political race ever again. Not if I can help it.
See, this is the thing, fam. This is the thing. Give it up for Isaiah L. Carter in the top. This is how you get. This is what happens, right? When you have betrayed someone, right? When you betray someone, you get to a point where the resentment, you can feel the resentment in their voice, in their, it's totally different than just disagreeing with you. You know, the Democratic Party has created resentment, full-out resentment from former people who supported them, former voters, former contributors, even former independents who gave Democratic Party the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, they were independent, but they still kind of leaned a little to the Democrats for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they still thought the Democrats, you know, as a black person, you thought, well, you know, I don't really rock with the Democrats that far, but Republicans are so anti-black, you know. Which is how most people, most black folks is looking at it. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for all groups, and I know it probably doesn't even apply to all groups, because pretty much Latinos are a toss-up every 4 years, as is Asians. White folks, always, majority of white folks vote Republican. So, Yeah, really only talking about black folks. I mean, we gotta own that. But yeah, but this is what they've done. They've almost ensured their own demise by their own nefarious activity, man. That's what it is. And Isaiah has hit the nail on the head with the USAID, the USAID agency. I got people that are going, well, we need to defend this, and they don't even know what they're defending. When was the last time you got defended from an audit? When was the last time? And that's your own money, by the way. That's your money. The IRS audits you. The IRS looks at your books. That's what you call taxes. That's what tax season is. You're defending an agency that's spending your money, our money, any way it wants to, from having to be held accountable for it. If it gives money to foreign countries, that's the function, right? So now, since it's been discovered they are so out of pocket, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, what does the Secretary of State do? Deal with foreign affairs, right? So now they're going to put it under the purview of the Secretary of State. Why is that so crazy for right now? Like, I want to see what happens. I want to see all the ways in which the USAID agency has been betraying us all. It's coming out. It's coming out. It's not only coming out how they've been giving money. You've been hearing crazy stories. Have you heard the crazy stories of all the money they've been giving for crazy things? Why would they be funding trans activities in countries where it's damn near illegal to be bisexual or homosexual? Why are they fomenting like chaos in some of their activities? Why would you do that? Why would you send money to give people money? Why would we send millions of dollars for somebody to read books to kids of LGBTQIA nature? Like, what are they doing? And when people said, yo, they got an agenda to spread certain ideologies across the country, people said, that's a bunch of right wing. That's what the USAID's been doing. There's receipts. There are literal receipts from some of the activities they've been doing. They put in there what they're trying to do. So you just thought because the corporate media put a face on it that you recognize, that you trust for whatever reason, to tell you that everything that you hear is bogus unless they tell it to you. And now we're at a point where things are being exposed. So I'm just imploring people to open their heads up a little bit and take a look at this stuff. I mean, I didn't know they were going to find this. I didn't have any idea. I'm just telling you what's coming out. This is not an agenda I have. I didn't even know. I wasn't even thinking about this place. I wasn't even thinking about this agency. Most Americans don't even know this agency exists. So, yeah. What's happening is, it's a new day. That's what it is, folks. It's a new day. And we need it to be a new day. It needs to be a new day. So let me put it this way. I think this will say it. If you were upset about our money going to Ukraine, to fund wars in Ukraine, and it could have stayed home to help you, you should be not upset that Trump is having anybody comb through the USAID agency. Because they've been doing the same thing. Billions of dollars been going out through this entity. Same thing. If you've been upset, you're like, what's going on with Gaza? Why are we funding Israel's bombing of Gaza? If you've been upset with that, why are you not supporting going through the USAID group and looking at what they've been doing? They've been sending money out the back door there too. Get it? USAID. So to me, like, if you're not a Democrat and you're not believing the propaganda out of hand, just automatically thinking anything the Democrats say is true and just dismissing criticism, and if you don't realize that corruption can be anywhere, if you don't realize that, then I think that you should consider reevaluating some things. I should put my ticker back. Hit the like button if that makes sense for you guys. And all I'm saying is we need to be consistent. See, here's the thing, guys. We got people that call themselves lefties and progressives. They're not consistent. How could you be for stopping the war in Ukraine? We should stop funding the war in Ukraine and then be against the shit that USAID is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the things, they want to now cloak it like they just fed people. They gave people food. They fed people that were starving. Keep doing that part. That's the good part. I support that part. Have you looked at the rest of the stuff they've been doing? Sometimes a person, you remember Nino Brown? Nino Brown from New Jack City, perfect idea. Perfect example. Okay, so Nino Brown. Remember the scene when he was giving out the turkeys on Christmas and shit? Could have been turkey, it could have been Christmas or Thanksgiving. He started rolling out the turkeys, giving them out to people, you know, and everybody lining up, and he kissing babies like he a politician. Doing a goodwill. Doing a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, giving back to the community. There's a long history of black folks who did such things, who were also doing some other things. Okay? Does that negate that he was dealing crack? That he was dealing death to his own brothers and sisters? Does that negate that? No, it doesn't. Does the law make a stipulation for it? No, it doesn't. We shouldn't either morally. And all I'm saying is, that's what USAID has been doing. So, like, I'm having a hard time understanding. I try to be open-minded, right? I try to see things from other people's vantage point. I feel like that's part of my job. You know what I'm saying? And if I go too far one way, I try to correct myself and re-examine. And I'm always thinking, did I go too far? Did I not go far enough? I'm always looking at my own, I'm checking myself. You know what I'm saying? But I find it, I cannot come up with a reasonable explanation why somebody would not want to read the books or somebody that works for them. You know, there's a lot of people who let accountants work their books, and then they find out their accountant stole all the money. A lot of famous people have that story, that cautionary tale, right? We hear about it. You know, recording artists signed a contract, got screwed. Well, an agency that's supposed to work for us, that's sending all our money out the back door, that's screwing us over. You get it. Yeah, I figured that's what the text was. Just getting the alert makes me realize. So look, I know. You know, and I know it sucks, right? It sucks if you can't stand Elon Musk, for instance. And I see a lot of reasons not to like the guy. I mean, he did a Higgs style. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. You know, I'm so black and old, I don't even know if I'm saying it. Is it Higgs style? That's what it's called? He did the Hitler thing. People say he didn't do the Hitler thing. They want to compare it to other people blowing their nose, waving at people, doing a Spock sign or whatever, doing a Mork from Ork, Nanu. No! This mofo did the Higgs seal. That's what that was. Turns out now he may have did it just to get publicity because it's Trump and Steve Bannon have this thing where they just do a bunch of shit that makes the media go, what are we going to cover now? They just lose their brains, and then they're able to just get past and do a lot of things under the radar because they got the media running around looking like fools because the media is greedy and crazy, and they're just, just running around like rabbits, trying to get the story, trying to poke the story. You know what I'm saying? And it's running around. So I don't know why he did it. He could have just done it. The simple explanation is he's a Nazi. That could be the simple explanation. And, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know this. That was a Hicksile. It looked like a Hicksile. Very much looked like it. And maybe that makes you say, anything this guy ever does, screw him. And I understand that, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think it's smart because, first of all, I don't know if that's exactly what he was doing. But second of all, I ain't got nothing to do with what kind of handshake or signal he's doing. And that ain't got nothing to do with this. Your mechanic may work wonders under the hood of your car. He may listen to all types of music and do all types of things. He may do that self-choking thing behind the door. I don't know, that whatever that move is where people choke themselves. I never understood it. They check into hotels and choke themselves for some reason. I don't even want to go there. I don't know. You never know what you may have a great restaurant you go to. The chef, this is a great chef. I love this restaurant. They got the best food. You don't know. The chef of that restaurant could be into all types of shit you don't know about. It's not my business to know about that stuff. Just keep making sure you keep cooking my oxtails the way you cook them. He may worship oxes. Well, I guess if he worshiped the ox, he wouldn't eat the ox. He may worship other things. You know what I'm saying? He may be like Delroy Lindo in that movie where he was banging nails into the chicken's mouth. And, devil's advocate. Remember Delroy Lindo? That dude couldn't talk on the stand. He couldn't testify because Delroy, the night before, he did the witch doctor shit with the nail. And dude couldn't talk. Remember that? You can have somebody into that type of shit, but you don't care if that's his religious beliefs. You just want to make sure he makes your mambo wings the correct way, with just the mambo sauce authentically with the just amount of kick and sweetness that is necessary. Okay, or that your pizza just has just the right amount of crispiness on the crust that you prefer. So what I'm saying is, I don't give a shit if Elon Musk did that or not. That doesn't mean he's wrong when him and his team do a forensic investigation into the books of the USAID. And when they do that and the information comes back, the Democrats, the ones that are making all this noise, these folks got a lot of explaining to do. You got some explaining to do. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. We gotta get to the bottom of this stuff. See, Doth protest too much. Doth do protest too much. They're doing a lot of protesting right now. And when you start protesting like they protest, seems like they got a reason. Out there screaming in middle of February in the street at the IRS or whatever building. Where they at? Auntie Maxine all out the house, out of her limo. Got her out her limo up here. All right. So just let's put this on a bow. Let me just seam this up. USAID is not shut down. It's in a state of significant operational disruption. You put the brakes on that thing. The proposed merger with the State Department could redefine USAID's role, but it's still in the discussion phase. Nothing officially has happened. No matter how many Democrats have jumped out the window, trying to throw themselves onto the train tracks to stop the train. The buyout of federal employees that Trump suggested or he offered, that's been halted by a court. So that's telling you there's a number of things that just have not happened. And it's sort of like a shock and awe. Because all this stuff's been going on, and some of these things, I don't even think Trump thought all these things was going to go through. But it's enough to make the media do like this. So there it is. Yeah. If people are complaining about their books getting looked at, it's probably because their books got some stuff they don't want you to see. Kind of reminds me of Diddy. I'm sure Diddy has stuff on his tapes he probably don't want people to see. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that don't want the Diddy tapes to come out. The same people probably don't want the Epstein tapes to come out. You understand what I'm saying? Do you want to see them? Why you want to see the Epstein tapes? Because you think a crime's been committed, right? Why you want to see the Diddy tapes? Because you think a crime's been committed, right? For those same reasons, I want to see the USAID tapes. Because I think a crime's been committed. Don't you? If not, why so serious? Why so serious, baby, if it ain't nothing to see? All right, guys, let's go to the next episode. Give a like if that makes sense to you. Just common sense. That's all we got. You don't need to, they got all these degrees. Got no damn common sense. Just use your common sense. Something smell off, it probably is. You ain't got to look at the date on the milk. If you smell it, you open the lid like, whoo. All right, we good. That's the common sense. You got all these senses working for you. You know what I'm saying? Do you really got to read? What if you can't read the date on it? We have other ways. We shake it. We look at the texture. We smell it. We have other things we use. We just don't have to listen to what someone told us. Oh, no, you good. Nah, okay, I feel you. I'm going to decide if I'm good, though, player, because this is my stomach. All right, let me see. Oh. Why is it smoking? This ain't right. Some of y'all just as dumb. Oh, you good. Oh, thanks, man. That's how some people act, man. Well, Joy Reid said it, so it had to be true. Joy Reid, Van Jones, Oprah said it. Somebody else, brown skin, said it. Don Lemonhead said it. And he always there for us. Al Sharpton said it, and he always got our back. Boy, we need some new black people. We need some new black people. We got some new black people. They're coming up every day. You know what I'm saying? They're coming up every day. You know what I'm saying? And they are doing what they think. It's just they're not on cable news. They're not on cable news. Because if you type black person goes fight for black people, or working class people, or the truth, they don't want you on the show. You got some truth tellers. You don't think they see us out here telling the truth? They see our ass. They got eyes. There you go. Truth teller. Next. Keep scrolling. Up, truth teller. Up, keep scrolling. Oh, sellout. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so the Democratic Party, they love fighting for stuff we don't want them to fight for. You know what I'm saying? They fight for things that I don't want them to fight for, and the things I want them to fight for, they ignore it. They ignore those things like a fine woman at the club from a guy that wanted her to dance with him that she's not interested in. You know what I'm saying? They just keep on walking from the things we care about. That's the Democratic Party. For instance, those impeachments that meant nothing to Trump, that did nothing, other than shame him. Well, they thought it shamed him. It did hurt him politically. In fact, it made him win again. Yeah, they made Trump win again. Can you believe they're going to do the same thing they already did? They try to do the same thing they did before. It's Groundhog's Day, y'all. It is Groundhog's Day. And that same brother that couldn't be concerned about doing anything for black Americans, a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, is trying to get Trump impeached again. Believe it. Listen to him.
I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. I also rise to say that the impeachment movement is going to be a grass-up movement, not a top-down. The people have got to move forward. The people have to demand it. And when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment, and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I. And I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. On some issues, it is better to stand alone than not stand at all. On this issue, I stand alone, but I stand for justice. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman yields back. Members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities toward the president.
Yeah. And sometimes it's good to stand down and have several seats. Yeah, sometimes it's good to shut the hell up and quit while you are behind. Yeah, sometimes it's good to read the room. America don't want to hear this nonsense. Show us the money. Hey, Gene, Green, Al. Show us the money. Hey, as a black American from the Gen X generation, slow down. Slow your punk ass down. Look, we not on this. We're not on this nonsense. This performative nonsense. Look, guys, when they come out here and they start talking, what is this? I don't get. They do their little stand-up routine. They come out here and they start preaching and prophesying. And what is it? What does it do? What's the point? Green, you will be unsix. He's already lost. It's already didn't go anywhere. It's over. This stunt. Democrats are just throwing hissy fits. I saw a meme where a toddler was trying to put his socks on, and he damn near, he almost lost his damn mind with them socks. Damn sock. He was like 2 trying to put his socks on. He couldn't get the sock on his foot. You ever seen the toddler do that? That's the Democratic Party. That's all the Democrats against Trump. All of them are a bunch of toddlers that can't get their socks on, throwing hissy fits. That's what they are. The entire Democratic Party, every one of them, are throwing hissy fits. Damn it. And they got bad for Al Green, man. I feel bad for Al. Not because I like him or not because he's valid. Or not because he's done a bunch of stuff for black Americans or any Americans probably. I don't know. I'm sorry. If you ever helped the least of us, you know what I'm saying? Like if you ever helped the least of us, you helped yourself to the buffet at the USAID organization. Took your little kickbacks. I don't got much sympathy for you, but I will say this. to see him get roasted, this was a good one. Here he is on the program he called into today. He was a guest on the program because I guess that's what he got out of that, showing his ass, showing his ever-loving ass here on Capitol Hill. Got him an opportunity to go on this, I think it's PBS, and a caller called in and let his ass have it.
Said this, the president should be impeached. I said that on the floor of the House. He should be impeached, but I'm not saying that it would be necessarily for what happened in Gaza. There's a target-rich environment. There are many things that may be placed in these articles of impeachment, but it should be because he's unfit to be president. Unfit. And when these impeachment signs...
You know, that's hilarious and rich. That's some decadent, man. That's a pecan pie with a custard pie on top of it, with some strawberry cheesecake. That is rich. He just said Trump is he's incapable. He said, what's his exact words?
To be president. Unfit, but it should be because he's unfit to...
He said Trump is unfit. What was Biden? Biden was unfit to run a lawnmower, let alone the country. And you let him. Oh, you let him run the country and you knew the man was gone, that he checked out. You knew it. You all knew it. What was the impeachment on this guy? Y'all didn't want to give him the hook until he was trying to run a second time. You let him be hook free for 4 years. He left the damn border door open just in his drawers, just walking around the White House in his boxers with his pajamas around his ankles like Steve Martin in his jerk, and left the damn border door open. The border door? I thought you got the door, Jill. Jill, I thought you got the door. I didn't get the door? Oh, if you want me to close the door, you ain't black. You want me to close the border, you ain't black. You want to talk about somebody being unfit? Unfit? So there is no credibility with the Democratic Party at all. And Al is full of shit.
Be president. Unfit. And when these impeachment signs start going up around the country, when people see these signs, I assure you, the pressure is going to be on Congress to do something.
Look at it, impeach Trump. Look at this. This is a brother. He's a marketing genius. This is a marketing genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, this brother knows how to put words together, man. This is a brother, dynamic brother. Impeach Trump. Didn't you do that 2 times last time and you did nothing but get him reelected? Do you understand? Your quarterback is toast. You understand that? You had an opportunity to stop him and you ran one of the most unlikable politicians in the history of politicking. That's what y'all did. Let's fast forward to when the caller calls in. I don't want to hear too much more here. Here we go.
Let's get to calls because the lines have lit up. Richard in Savannah, Georgia.
Is here. This is the plan. Protest, complain now, impeach later.
Let's get to calls because the lines have lit up. Richard in Savannah, Georgia, Republican. You're up first, Richard.
Hey, if I was Al Green, I'd get up and run out right now. Because he been sitting up here who knows how long talking smack. He been on here talking smack about Donald Trump, and he's about to get his ass cooked. She just said the phone lines have lit up. That's because Al been talking this shit. Al been over here talking about all this stuff. Now Al about to get it.
The protests don't have a plan. Well, the plan is here. This is the plan. Protest, complain now, impeach later.
Let's get to calls because the lines have lit up. Richard in Savannah, Georgia, Republican. You're up first, Richard.
Thank you. I watched you yesterday with the Democrat Party out protesting everything that Elon Musk is trying to do for the American people. the USAID is a 100% a money laundering scheme around the world, kickbacks back to the Democrat Party, whether it's through the Clinton Foundation in Haiti, $4.4 billion and $84 million went to her daughter, Chelsea Clinton. All y'all have is impeachments and race and gender, et cetera, and you actually do nothing for the people of America today. I think the Democrats should sit back and let America see what it's like to reduce the people in government, the wasteful spending. And all y'all can do is just complain and be negative, and we're sick of it. And also,
Richard, let's have the congressman respond.
Yeah. Hit the like button if you understand what I'm talking about, Johnson. There's a saying, Malcolm X, he said it best. Roosters come home to roost. Roosters come home to roost. We should not complain. You should not complain when your roosters come home to roost. Yeah, I forgot about the $84 million to Chelsea Clinton and her little startup. $84 million. The 4.4 that was supposed to be for Haiti. Yeah. So look, the Democrats, they grasping at straws. Al Green making a fool out of himself. Al, stick to singing. Now I see why your wife threw them grits on you. That's not the same Al. I know, man. I know. Congressional Black Caucus is out of their depth once again. This guy, Al Green, is embarrassing himself. And it's a shame when you do that. Instead of impeaching Trump, attempting to impeach Trump, attempt to do your goddamn jobs. How about you attempt to govern for the people? Once you attempt to get things done for the people that sent you to Washington, and stop caping for an agency that is as corrupt as you and your entire party. Okay? That's what we need to do. All right, let's keep it moving, Johnson. Let's keep it moving. Hit the like button if that segment made sense to you. Poor Al. Come on, Al. Another Al we should not listen to. Okay. CNN has been on fire. And I don't mean that in a good way. I do not mean that in a good way. Here goes a segment from the Abby Phillips Show. They're discussing DEI. And this DEI, folks, it ain't going away. This thing is going to stay in the news. I don't know why the Democrats want to keep this a conversation. They do not win in this conversation. But as usual, it is being used as a mechanism to ignite black folks. Yeah. Anything that goes on in the Democratic Party, if they want to get it done, they got to somehow tie it to blackness, because that's the grievance cheat code. Blackness, man. Problem with that, folks, is we don't benefit from it. We get the least amount of everything from whatever they're trying to do. Whatever schemes they've concocted, we don't even come up on the good side of it. We come up getting the less bag. We get the leftovers. We get nothing at the end of the day. But we get all the blame. We got to take all the heat. Here goes Abby Phillips Show where they're talking more DEI.
The cabinet.
DEI mentioned every if race is not the issue, then why is DEI mentioned every single day as a solution to every single problem that faces this?
Because of how pervasive it is,
but
and how hateful it is to an actual conservative ideological view.
But do you think it is true that all of America's ills, from the plane crash to whatever it is, wildfires, due to DEI for real?
I think that if you believe in the fundamental principle of America, which is that we guarantee everybody an equal chance, not an equal outcome, but an equal chance, then trying to go around that principle, conservatives don't believe in it. And most people who believe in America don't believe in it, number one. Number two, The concept of not hiring the best person for the job in government or anywhere else has been repeatedly rejected by the American people, the Supreme Court, and everything else. And so
what do you mean? So I guess what I'm saying is, like, if that is the case, then people are questioning the actual qualifications of many people Donald Trump hired for jobs.
Yeah.
So do you think that he actually...
Why?
Because Elon Musk doesn't even go here.
Do you think that he...
That's why.
This is the question people are asking. This is the question that Ryan Clark just asked. Did Donald Trump, for Health and Human Services, find the person with the best expertise to address
this is not a.
When it comes to the Department of Defense, did he find the person with the best expertise to address those issues, or did he just find people who he liked?
Political appointees have one qualification. They serve at the pleasure of the president because the president believes that person's going to best carry out their agenda. That is the only qualification.
And to protect and defend the Constitution.
And that is the only. That's the only qualification for a political appointee.
Doesn't matter.
Of course, they're. Of course, he believes they're competent. If he didn't believe they were competent, he wouldn't appoint them.
You're not being fair with that. You're not being fair with that response. She asked you a very simple question: yes or no. Look at the appointees. Do you believe DEI had anything to do with those appointees? Do you believe they were qualified? Do you think they would protect and defend the Constitution that represents all of the people of the United States of America?
I think Mark Rubio.
I think you all have literally no idea how the government works, is what I actually
do.
I do. I certainly at a higher level than anyone here.
A couple people at this table have served in the government.
Yeah, me too.
Including for this former president.
I just want to say that I think the premise that DEI...
Well, let me cut it here, guys. Let me say something. I think that DEI, I think that president will pick and chose who's going to help him get his agenda done. That's what I think is done. I've been on the record saying, hey, I don't care who he picks. This is 4 years. He gets to take a bite at the apple. Most people cannot name who was in Biden's cabinet. They may name a couple people, but not really. You know, we got people, most of us tune out on all this shit. But the Democrats want to make it a focal point. They want to make this like, oh, this is the biggest thing. This is so important. They're not really able to stop any appointees. It's just making this process take a lot longer than it needs to take. Yeah. Why did Biden pick Pete Buttigieg? Was Pete Buttigieg the best he could do? I mean, the guy was the mayor of a small city. They wasn't doing so well. Like, he couldn't have done better than that for transportation secretary. But see, no one asked that question there. At least no Democrats did. And now they're just focusing on who's on base now. You know, so look, we can always make this argument. If you're going to make a discrimination because there's not enough black people in Trump's cabinet, I beg to differ. I don't want black people to fall for the bullshit. Black Americans fall for it with the Democrats because the Democrats will pick a couple tokens. And they're going to do exactly what white people would do. And sometimes even less. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no difference than what they get done. Like, it only matters if the person who's working looks like you, if they think like you, if they have empathy for you, if they're actually fighting for you. That matters. But if they just look like you, that don't mean anything. Looks are skin deep. Looks are not skin deep. No, they are skin deep. There you go. Looks are skin deep. Look, back in high school, I had a friend. We had a friend that worked at KFC. That was great because he could get us some chicken. That was why it was great. Him working there is not great for me if he ain't gonna give us a hookup. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. He ain't gonna give us a hookup. We was broke, and we could get some, instead of throwing that chicken out, hey, bring a box home. Bring it past, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch the fight. We got the fight. I put it on tape. We had the VHS tapes. He coming through with the chicken they was gonna toss out. They get to bring it home at the end of the night. He looking out for the crew. But if he just brought the chicken home to his friend, to his girl, him and his girl that ate the bucket of chicken, one, they gonna probably get diabetes, and two, who cares about him getting that job at KFC? That's good for him. And that's how I feel about all the black people that work in government under Biden and under Trump. and under any administration. It doesn't matter. And these same thing goes to newscasters. Who cares what color they are if their best interest is themselves or their corporation or their party and not you? So these things don't really apply. They're talking about Trump administration. It becomes a different conversation. We're talking about jobs for a general public, okay? That's a different conversation. But as it pertains to Donald Trump, it doesn't really matter. Plus, and I'm going to end on this, folks, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. I don't want people thinking, oh, Trump's doing, he's looking out for us because he hired someone who has your same complexion. I do not want black people falling for that with Trump. If you become a Trumper or a MAGA or a Republican supporter, don't do it based on anything as frivolous as the same bullshit we did with Democrats. No. We need to learn from our mistakes. Do not be so cheap. That's a cheap sale. Do not buy in because of optics. And there are people who are upset that they didn't get the optics that they would get with the Democrats. And that's a shame. Let's keep going.
DEI exists, and therefore the people that got the opportunity, perhaps because of DEI, are not qualified is a flawed premise.
Correct.
And I think that is what is so frustrating about the argument around DEI. We know in this country historically, and even today, there are still injustices in this country based on race, based on gender, based on ideology.
Based on who your daddy played
golf with. Yes.
Okay, that happens every single day. We know that.
But it happens every single day all over the planet.
That's
the planet Earth. It is human nature. It is human in every single, and we're the best at it. We're the best at trying to
Donald Trump's our president.
Arthur, I guess that's exactly my point. I agree with you. I think that it is true that there have been preferences not for merit since the dawn of time, and that in this country right now, the same people who are going after DEI, which is about giving opportunities to people who have been historically marginalized, are just as willing to hire their friends.
Is that what equity means? Giving opportunity or guaranteeing outcomes?
No, it's giving access.
Because that's what equity means. It's a difference. There's a difference between equality and equity.
No, it's giving access.
I just want to answer his question because I think
Wouldn't
this is
talent
super,
and hard work
Scott,
give you
I think
access?
this is incredibly important for you to understand and for everybody to understand at home, okay? This is where I think we go crossways on this issue. You just asked the question, what does equity mean? Does it mean equality or does it mean access to opportunities? And conservatives want to define it a particular way, but you have to acknowledge, I'm asking you to acknowledge that people who believe in DEI do not define it that way. They do not define it as equality.
I think they define it as trying to guarantee outcomes, and I think they define it as trying to punish people they don't like.
Scott, that's
wrong race, wrong gender.
Speaking from more of the middle of the country who's not hyper-partisan on this issue, I think that people generally think diversity is a virtue. It makes businesses better. It makes institutions better. But they also don't like when you have companies or organizations that are spending huge amounts of money to stand up DEI office. As an example, Fairfax County Public Schools, $400,000 spent on a DEI office, but kids are not reading at the levels that they should. They're not advancing at the levels that they should. It's not the issue
But were
of
they
diversity.
doing that before the office was stood up?
Well, no, and probably not. And so I'm not saying the connection.
So maybe implementing DEI might actually help people have a better
But it's not an argument against DEI. It's how much of our resources are we actually putting.
But that's not the way the conversation is being posed in America today. The conversation about DEI and woke and all of that sounds about marginalized Black and brown people who already are threatened seem to be threatened in this community, in this society, and they're not getting the same opportunities. It was the same thing with affirmative action. Went to UCLA. They got rid of affirmative action. Everyone said you got in because of affirmative action. When I graduated, affirmative action didn't take my test. Affirmative action didn't help me get to where I'm at today. It gave me access that I didn't have based on the opportunity that I lacked because of the circumstances I was born into, which had nothing to do with me, but the country in which we live in. So the reality is...
Have you seen the test scores of UCLA Medical, by the way?
My point being, Scott, is that everyone doesn't have the same access. People like to hire their friends. They like to hire the people that they like to be around.
Do you think they like to hire the best people for the job?
But I also think around the idea of diversity.
No, Donald Trump hired all of his friends. But I want to go.
Look, man, at some point we got to say, I think, when it comes to the whole diversity argument, that we need to level the playing field in the preparation to be on the field, which means we need to start the game. If we want to say, hey, you know, we cannot have people sacrificing quality for the basis of just being diverse, because we need the better outcome of the institution or whatever we're doing. You know, if whoever's going to do the best job is what's most important. And that's what you want to hire, right? And if we say, well, less people from this group, less Black people getting the opportunity or going to be able to compete at this level due to X, Y, Z, well, what do we do to correct that? And I think part of what we do to correct that is resources in those institutions, is opportunities or programs or whatever is necessary to get people trained up to be able to do that. I think that's a vital part of it. And then we hold people accountable then. You know, at some point, we got to train people up in order to get them to the level, not just put them to the level. And you're right, you know, this goes to anybody who doesn't have the money. It's not just, you know, it's not just color. It's not just race. It's not just ethnicity. It's access to the resources. I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but most of the country is full of poor white people. I know a lot of people don't get that, so a lot of them don't have access to resources either. We need to have the access to resources across the board, and that's going to help us all. You know what I'm saying? That's going to help everybody. But the diversity conversation, the DEI shit, I'm totally off that. DEI was never a winner for Black folks. It was never about Black folks. And I'm tired of these Black folks making it seem like it was when it wasn't. And it doesn't matter, because all race-based initiatives have been shuttered. Okay? That's been the culmination of all this nonsense. And as I told somebody who wrote me about it, trying to tell me it was only a standard, they're only complaining because they think it's Black people. Yeah, maybe there's some people that are like that. For the most part, when you go outside and you meet people walk down the street, not in your college town, but I mean regular working people, and ask them what DEI means, they can't answer it. And if they say Black, it's probably because they heard a clip of Al Sharpton or Joy Reid or somebody else insinuating that it was when it isn't. There are like 8 different groups in diversity in DEI that are considered part of the diversity program initiatives. Black people were just one of those groups. So were white women, so were Muslims and Jews, and so were disabled people and veterans, anybody they felt that was not competing well against white guys. And I'm sorry, but America's full of a lot more people with a lot of different issues or a lot more obstacles. If you're a veteran, you know, just not being in the corporate sector, in the corporate, you know, in corporations, or in that, you know, being a veteran, sacrificing your life, you know, doing that is another thing. You haven't been a part of the corporatocracy the entire time you were over there doing it, wherever you were within that structure. If you're a disabled person, you got different challenges. If you're a person, you know, so I think I understand it, but we need to speak plainly and truthfully about it. It does not mean Black. It never did. And they sold it as if it did. So now that people are rejecting it, you say it's not. Well, then why were you selling it like it was? And I'll answer that question for you, person who wrote me. It's because the Democrats know the only way they can sell anything in this country is if they wrap it in Black. Because Black people are the only people in America that have any currency with America that anybody would say is owed anything in America. And they don't want to give us reparations. But only the most racist white people will deny that Black people have gotten a raw deal in America. So they use that. That's all the Democrats have. It's using Black people. They can't use Mexicans and Asians. They all got other countries they can go back to. Nobody came and got Asians and made them be here. No one came and got the Mexicans. Okay? And they've already made Native Americans sovereign. They got their own shit. So we the only group, and you can't say LGBTQIA because they are white LGBTQIAs. You can't say veterans because they're white veterans. See, this is the only group that they can manipulate and use and weaponize and help them get programs through, using us as the front man. The only people they can use is black people to use them as a front man to get all this shit done. And that's what the problem is. So we've been used and abused and served like hell. So one day we was found cold, hung in the cell. Nelly Mel. So yeah, I'm tired of this, but let her finish out. We got one more clip after this pertaining to this. I think this one's
Back
done.
to people that are in his cabinet right now. You know, because you are a smart man. I know you know this.
Why don't you understand how political appointments work? I don't understand.
It's not about, but this is,
I don't get it.
Can we just go beyond? Can we just go beyond? Can we just go beyond?
You don't go get a political appointment. You use people to be on your team because you want them to be a team player that fit your team or whatever that is. And as a coach, you get to make that choice. You don't pick teammates, people to play on your team based on trying to check out some boxes. I don't think that's what you would do. I think that's what Scott's saying. I get what she's saying, but yeah, stop using us. I don't care what your motive is or whatever your strategy is, Democrats and political commentators. But the whole use of black people thing, that time is up. Black America's not going for that anymore. We're done with the whole you can use us up. And I saw this, and here goes the second part to this clip. And folks, when I saw this clip, I was so grateful because Miss Allison is going to go on a tirade. Well, she's going to speak her truth. I'm not going to call it a tirade. You call it what you want. She's going to speak her truth about DEI as it pertains to her. And it's going to prove my point.
As you. I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
what, Scott?
I got it.
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you want
Look, I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city. I'm
not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all y'all added up together at this table, right? And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not because...
Even in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI.
Scott.
Look.
Role at every institution I have worked in, and it's not
Even
because
in the White House.
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI.
There it is. Now, this is what I've been saying. It's so hilarious because when I put this out there and I said, under Obama's DEI programs back in 2009 when he implemented them, that was her boss, by the way. It didn't impact black people. It impacted mostly dreamers, immigrants, and LGBTQIA. There were people pushing back, wanting to make excuses. And then came this clip today. Yeah, of course it's anecdotal because it's only one person. And I don't think she knew what she was saying or the ramifications of what she was saying. But she's saying DEI didn't work for her. She was the least paid in her office and even in the White House. And it was under DEIs while DEIs were in place. So my point being this. Stop saying DEI is black. Let's end it. I think we've all admitted that it wasn't. Why for several years were they selling it like it was? I think I've explained that earlier. I think I spoke to why. I think most reasonable people that want to be honest with themselves would admit the currency black people hold in America and how it gets manipulated. What do you think our shop has been eating off of? He's been eating off blackness for 40 years. I'm fighting for black people. Black people got it hard. Meanwhile, he ain't made it easier. Except for anyone except himself. Now they're admitting that DEI is not for black people. Too late now, it's gone. Now, if you'd have told the truth maybe in the beginning that it was for LGBTQIA and white women, which were the primary beneficiaries, then immigrants and dreamers and other people of that nature. Then they did some stuff for veterans, the disabled, differently abled. You'd have told the truth, maybe it wouldn't have got struck down. But you didn't tell the truth. And here's the thing, man. Roosters come home to roost. Roosters come home to roost. Well, give me a couple claps to that if you hit the like button if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or X. Hit the like button because I want to go to this last segment and it's important for me to get this out. We're almost done. We're not gonna go much longer, but I gotta say this. And it ties right into everything we've been saying tonight. You know, I was on TikTok and I saw some people talking about Target's boycott. And don't get me wrong, man. I have no affinity for Target. None whatsoever. I never got caught up in the whole Target thing. You know what I'm feeling? You know what I'm saying? I ain't on that. So this is not from a place of feeling solidarity with Target. But I saw people riled up online, and it bothered me because in the comment section of some videos, I saw a number of black people that appeared to be black. The avatars appeared to be black. They appeared to be real people that were talking and bragging about not shopping at Target and going to get their Costco memberships because of Al Sharpton and the movement. And they don't care about us. And they even went so far as there was a little skit. Somebody trying to go into a Target and then a bird popped out or something and called him a sellout or a coon or something. And I saw it, I said, wow. It was one of the most frustrating things I've seen all year. I know the year just started, but jeez. All the energy spent to help black folks go from one white corporation to another white corporation. And that switching corporations is owned by primarily, when you look at the makeup of the board of directors for Target, you look at the makeup for the board of directors of Costco, I don't see much difference. In fact, I see more black people on the Target side. But because they're not rolling with DEI, which is not primarily benefiting black people anyway, we got black people, but they are so controlled by corporate media. They take their cues from the Al Sharptons and the Joy Reids and the MSNBC and the Don Lemonheads. And these people are all compromised. Every last one of them are compromised by the Democratic Party. They believe the representational BS is more important or just as important as anything else. They have yet to provide any information that will lead black people to believe that DEI is a benefit for them. You ain't going to find it because it don't exist. It's not going to show you anything empirically that's going to say, hey, this is good for us. There have been some reports that it may be good for the company to have different people working at it, to shore up certain blind spots. But when I look at DEI hiring, we got like 4% of the positions. Do you think those people that are online in comment sections making all this noise, cheering and calling other black people names like Steven from Django over them not switching from one white major corporation to the next, all because DEI is not the order of the day for them? It's not even, and once again, this is not about Target. And it's not even about Costco. I don't give a shit where you shop unless it's black. You know? Black people need to do for black people. We need to, if you say America is so racist and everything's stacked against us, why would you not boycott Or why would you boycott and then go to a white corporation? Wouldn't you boycott and shop black? If that's the whole impetus behind the boycott, they're boycotting shopping white because this corporation is looking at these 8 categories, and we one of them categories. Well, the other corporation, you don't think they hire black people because they're not looking at 8 categories and checking boxes? You don't think they just hire black people in the course of hiring people because they're choosing best people or good people or people that walked in or people applied? Because that doesn't mean they're not hiring black people. It just means they're not following the DEI program to do it. And the DEI program slices up the pie even more places than the other non-sliced pie. But also to think this way and think clearly will require you to not just be spoon-fed corporate media nonsense. And it just felt very, I'm going to tell you, man, it felt very deflating. The comments I saw, people with the chest all out. Yeah, I was about to go to Target and I changed my mind. I said, what am I doing about to go to Target? And I saw a sister about to go to Target. I gave her the biggest side eye. What you doing going to Target? Yeah, we gotta revolt. We gotta stand up. And I know in my heart of hearts, man, it's lack of information. I know that's what it is. So I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying we're not reaching enough people. And these liars and the snakes and the true sellouts have the ear. And this is when I talk like this is not right wing or left wing. This is not. Trump don't want me talking like this, and the Democrats don't want me talking like this. So miss me with the you support Trump too much. Trump don't want me talking black upliftment, goofy. That's not what he on. He didn't run on that. We're not talking about bad people. We're talking about people that just don't have access to the information. And we're going to have a chance at reversing this at all, and we're going to have a chance of getting off the bottom of the bottom. We're going to have to do some more work, do some more heavy lifting. Look, to support this channel, you know what to do. Go to patreon.com, Tim Sake Live, join timblack.com. If you can't join, just share some shit. Black people need to know they're getting played. That's all. We need to cease being played. And if it's not just us directly being played, we need to cease being played by this party that's playing us all. And if we don't do that, then we don't have a shot. If we don't do that, we ain't got a snowball's chance in here. We got to start somewhere. Let's start here. All right, guys, that's all I got. I want to thank you all for tuning into the Tim Black Show tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to go out with a bang. It's going to be Casual Friday around this joint. So I hope to see you here one more time. Let's go to comment section. Let's see what we got as far as conversation, folks. Meg Thee Stallion came through. I say Meg Thee Stallion. Megs, not Meg Thee Stallion, Megs. Megs gave out a membership. Thank you, Megs. The Revelator said, once you see the Democrats and Republicans have done, you cannot see it. You become black pill. Yes, and the Republicans. That's what I'm saying. Look, dog, it is what it is. It's very difficult to say every sentence, say Republicans and Democrats. But I'm not telling you to go vote Republican. I appreciate you, Revelator. I know you know. I know you know. Because I've never, ever said, hey, go get this guy. You know, I don't do that. But I feel you, man. Once you see the Democrats and Republicans have done, you cannot see it. It's what it is. You cannot go back to not knowing. You can get tired of the content, you know, tired of knowing this stuff, but you still know it. You just mentally might have to check out. And I understand that. But you can't unknow what you know. Excellent comment. Nothing is the same after that. There it is. It's not. It's some people handle it better than others. It is a very rude awakening. And when you see how far it goes, it just eats at you because it's like, damn. And that's what the Target thing does. It's like, really? And someone who was actually part of the left, right, and left no longer applies. It's now about corporatists and populists and socialists. I say it's not about labels at all. It's about us working together and understanding what's going on and trying to mobilize behind it. But I appreciate your comment. Kirk Alston in the house. Great work as always, Tim. Just donating to your Grass Up movement. Kirk, you a wild guy, man, but I love you, bro. And I appreciate you for your support, fam. Kirk been with me for a while. He's got his opinion, man. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Black Mamba's in the house. Thank you, Black Mamba. This anger, my brother, gives me hope. It's akin to mine. Welcome to reality. That's Church Talk Unlimited with James Paul Burry. Yeah. And it's something in it, fam. I know you probably see it in me as well. I see it in my brother Isaiah Carter. And I feel you. You know what I'm saying? It's because you see your people getting taken advantage of. You don't see that with the Republicans because we're not giving them anything. But you see, people don't understand how visceral, how deep the disgust and the resentment gets when you see your people being taken advantage of. And they don't know that they're being taken advantage of. It's like, it's tough. It's tough. Let's keep going. Kurt. ADOS failure is artificial, socially constructed for centuries. We're the only ones entitled to guaranteed outcomes. But Dems play games with DEI. There it is. Data's back. Data said, Wolfpack, I ain't boycotting shit. Man, it's like some people are wind up toys for. Snatch Adam 69. Talk your shit, Tim. Thank you, Snatch. Yeah, man. It just bothers me that we fall for this nonsense with these snake oil salesmen. You know what I'm saying? Why do we fall for it? Hit the like button, folks. Hit the like button. And I know why we fall for it. And look, I don't want to beat up on people and say, you should know better, but if we've been doing the same thing for 60 years, and it's not working. It's a brother that follows me on X. I don't recall what the brother's name is. If you're watching, bro, you will recognize this because I'm talking about your profile. So I went to his profile after a post or a response to one of my replies or something. We replied, we interacted. On his profile, he explained all the areas in which Black people have fell behind people newly to the country, immigrants who come to the country. And I want you to wrap your head around this. You know, there were several categories. And I've been saying this, but to see the list of issues that we have, you know what I'm saying? A list of issues, the list of the parameters of just how far Black Americans rank in all these scales. It doesn't matter if they come from the southern border or the northern border. And to see that just in writing, it just burnt the fire under me even further. When we call out the issues in our community and we fight for those issues, when I do, it's coming from a good place. It's the structure of our system that makes it the way it does. And I know it's a daunting task, but then if you got a party that's not helping rectify it, you got a party that's supposed to be there to be on your best interest, but all they seem to do is exacerbate the problem, create more obstacles, and then use you to put money in their pockets. Well, what would you think we should do about that shit? Yeah, I know it's going to sound bitter, but I don't give a damn about the Democratic Party. Because the Democratic Party don't give a damn about us. I think that's fair. And I think to be of any other mindset would be foolish. Don't you? All right, guys, I'm Tim Black. I'll see you on the next one. You know how to reach me. Tim@TimBlackTV.com is where you go. Also, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And I mean anybody. Tell them to get off your cornbread. That's your cornbread. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love, your support. And as always, where are my ladies at? Somebody love me.